To understand how the science course, HEMED, and Rafael advanced defense systems fit into the birth of Israel's military and intelligence services, you have to look at the three paramilitary groups that merged to form the Israel Defense Force in 1948. 1. The three founding groups. Before 1948, the Jewish community in Palestine, the Yishuv, was defended by three distinct underground organizations. Each brought a different DNA to the modern Israel Defense Force and Mossad. Haganah, the core, the largest, mainstream militia. They focused on defense and building the infrastructure of a future state. HEMED was born directly out of the Haganah's science course, Irgun, 𝗧𝗿𝗱𝗶𝗁𝗍, a more militant, right-wing group that focused on retaliatory strikes and active resistance against British rule. Lehi, the Stern Gang, the smallest and most radical group, specializing in high-stakes intelligence and assassinations. Irgun and Lehi were both officially designated as terrorist organizations by the British Mandate and the United Nations due to their use of assassinations and bombings to force the British out of Palestine. 2. How they merged into the IDF and Mossad. When Israel was declared a state in 1948, Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion issued an order to disband these militias and unify them into a single national army. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF. The IDF absorbed the personnel and equipment of all three groups. The veterans of the Haganah's intelligence wing, Shai, became the foundation for Amon, military intelligence, and Shin Bet, internal security. The Mossad, external intelligence, was later formed in 1949 to handle foreign operations, drawing heavily from the tactical expertise of the Lehi and Irgun veterans. 3. How HEMED and Rafael fit in. Think of the paramilitary groups as the muscles and HEMED as the brain. While the soldiers were fighting on the front lines, the scientists of HEMED, many of whom were students and professors from the Technion and Hebrew University, were working in secret labs to create the weapons those soldiers needed. 1948. The integration. HEMED began by taking the improvised weapon shops of the Haganah and turning them into a professional science course. 1952. The specialization. Ben-Gurion realized that pure research, HEMED, and manufacturing, emet, needed to be separate to be efficient. 1958. The legacy. By the time Rafael was fully reorganized, it had become the primary lab for the IDF and the Mossad, developing the advanced missiles, electronics, and defense systems, like the ancestors of the Iron Dome, that allowed the small state to maintain a qualitative military edge. In short, the militias provided the manpower, but the evolution from HEMED to Rafael provided the technological superiority that defined the modern Israeli defense establishment. In the early 20th century, European intellectuals, including many who moved to Israel, were often interested in various esoteric or occult subjects. For example, 𝗧𝗍𝗶𝗁𝗶𝗶𝗁, a massive figure in early Israeli academia, was the world's leading expert on Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, which is a root source for many of Crowley's ideas. The science course, HEMED, because these scientists were working on miracle weapons in secret labs. Their work was often likened to magic or occultism.